Hey, have you ever thought about how life evolved on Earth?
Yes, I have. It's fascinating to think about how we got here.
It all started with tiny, invisible life forms in the water, like amoebas and bacteria.
And over time, these tiny cells joined together to form bigger creatures, like jellyfish and sponges.
Exactly. Then, animals like insects and fish appeared, and some fish started to live on land as amphibians, like frogs.
Wow, that's amazing. And later, reptiles with hard eggs, like snakes and lizards, emerged.
That's where the first animals to fly, and huge dinosaurs like Diplodocus and Tyrannosaurus rex roamed the Earth.
But they disappeared about 65 million years ago when a meteorite hit Earth. Some reptiles, like snakes and crocodiles, survived.
That's right. Then, mammals appeared. Unlike reptiles, mammals gave birth to babies and fed them milk. They had warm blood and fur.
Over time, primates, including early humans, evolved into the people we are today.
And that's how life on Earth changed from tiny cells to the amazing animals we see now.
The story of life on Earth. A long, long time ago, life first appeared in the water. This life was so tiny that you couldn't see it with your eyes. It was just like a tiny dot, slippery, and had only one cell. Have you ever heard of amoebas or bacteria? Then, many tiny cells came together to form the bodies of creatures. This means that from single-celled organisms, multi-celled animals were born in the water. For example, jellyfish, sponges, and algae started growing in the water. Later on, creatures like insects, earthworms, clams, and crabs appeared. Fish also came around the same time, but they looked very different from the fish we see today. Some of these fish began to leave the water and come onto land. These were called amphibians. They could live in both water and on land, like frogs. Around 250 to 200 million years ago, reptiles were born. They walked on their bellies like snakes and lizards. Their eggs had very hard shells, so reptiles could lay eggs on land. The first creatures to have wings were bats, and they were the first to learn how to fly. About 200 million years ago, huge reptiles called dinosaurs roamed the Earth. Dinosaurs were so big that they shook the land, the jungle, and even the sky. Elephants and rhinoceroses were tiny compared to them. Although dinosaurs were strong, they had small heads and not much brains. Their front legs and arms were small, but their back legs and arms were big. We don't see dinosaurs today, but we know about them from their bones and fossils. For example, Diplodocus. This dinosaur was about 80 to 90 feet long. It had a long neck and ate leaves from tall trees. It mostly lived in water but laid eggs on land. Triceratops. This dinosaur had very thick skin like armor and 3 sharp horns on its head. Tyrannosaurus rex. This was a very scary meat-eating dinosaur. It ran on its back legs and scared other dinosaurs. Pterodactyl. This dinosaur had wings like a bat and could fly. It had a long tail and caught its food with its pointy mouth. Even though dinosaurs ruled the Earth for about 150 million years, they disappeared about 65 million years ago. A big meteorite crashed into the Earth and changed the weather. Dinosaurs couldn't find enough food and fought each other, which led to their end. But smaller reptiles like snakes, turtles, and crocodiles survived. Then came mammals. Mammals were different from other animals because they did not lay eggs. Instead, they gave birth to babies that drank milk from their mothers. Mammals had warm blood and thick fur to keep them warm in cold weather. They also had big brains and were quite smart. Among mammals, there were small creatures like mice and big ones like elephants and lions. There were also special mammals called primates. Some had tails like monkeys, and others, like early humans, did not. From these early humans, the people we are today slowly came to be. This is the amazing story of how life on Earth evolved from tiny cells to the wonderful animals we see today.